All right, we're just going to give everyone a few more minutes to jump in and get started. For those who are joining us, we are talking about branding basics today. Super quickie course on getting started with your brand. Okay. If you're having trouble viewing the screen, you can also close out your window and bring it up into Chrome, and then you should be able to see it that way. Alternatively, if you're working off of a Mac computer, Safari is going to be your next best option. All right, so let's go ahead and just get started. You are watching Branding Basics with The Blonde Spot. My name is Sarah Allison. I'm the Chief Blonde Officer of The Blonde Spot, and I'm going to share with you a little bit about my story. So I was a single mom and living with my parents, finishing college, working 2 jobs, and raising a 3-month-old baby. And I did not want to give my son a bad start in life. So knowing where I was at that point in time, I decided that I needed to find a job that was going to really help me bring in the bacon and provide a life for my son that I didn't really get to give him the right way. And again, there are no right ways into starting out in life and pursuing your dreams. You got to do what's best for you. So with this course, I'm going to give you a jumping off ledge to where you can begin understanding branding as a concept and branding as how you can approach it from a personal brand perspective. The Blonde Spot has transformed from a mom blog into a full-fledged social media marketing website design consultant firm. We don't go with the term agency, and if you're looking to start doing some social media marketing, I suggest going with the word firm over agency, as it's a very different perspective in how we as a firm approach social media marketing. All right, so this Branding Basics course is going to be your intro into understanding the complexities of developing your personal and professional brand. There can be a personal or professional brand depending on what your personal aspirations are. The checklist that I'm going to give you a reminder about is that if you are joining us for this webinar, make sure that you have the self-guided brand development worksheet. If you don't have access to that, you can email me at Sarah, S-A-R-A-H, at theblondespot.me, or hit me up on Facebook through our Facebook page, www.facebook.com/theblondespot. I'll email you the guide, and you'll be able to access it and have it when you rewatch, or so that you can continue watching this webinar. Understanding what to put in your toolbox is super important, and it greatly depends on what your brand is. So what the hell is branding? You probably hear me talk about it a lot, and you probably hear a lot of other marketers out there in the world talk about branding. Essentially, branding is the promise that you make to your customers, or that you are planning to make to your customers. It's how you define your brand and how you will set forth the expectations and the differentiators and the products and services that you provide to the customers you're making promises to. Your brand is how you are perceived. So what does that mean? You are your brand, essentially. And the way in which you present yourself out into the public and the world and on social is how you're going to be perceived. So if you are out there and talking about woe is me, woe is the world, that's how people are going to perceive you within your brand. But if you're talking about how to empower someone to move past the woes and be better than what they think they are, that is how you're going to be perceived. You will be perceived as someone who is motivational. Your brand is who you want to be. So while we may be the empowering folks that we are, or that we are the incredible people that we, are becoming, there's also goals that we want to set and to form how we want to be and who we want to be later on down the road. So a lot of what we work with within branding is really focused on helping you understand who you are now, who you want to be in 5 years, and who you want to be tomorrow. I've already said this, your brand is who you are. And a lot of what we do and focus on within branding and developing a personal brand or professional brand is understand who you are as a person and how it relates to your passion and what you're looking to share with the world. So, who are you? I want to give you about 30 seconds to kind of write down a quick thought about who you think you might be according to you. Are you someone who is soulful? Are you compassionate? Are you passionate? Are you someone who looks to disrupt the status quo and really reshape the way in which it looks and is functioning? Maybe you are an artist and you're looking to change the way people perceive art as a concept or as a medium. Let's give you a few more seconds. All right, finish up that thought and let's move onward. All right, so now that you've written down a little bit about who you are and who you think you are, let's discover your brand. So get ready to write and refer back to your brand guide as we move through this quickie course. What is your passion? Passion is defined as intense enthusiasm for something. That is really and quite literally what it is. What are you enthusiastic about? For me, I'm enthusiastic about helping people understand their story and how to share it with people through social. Because social media is not the shallow tool or shallow picture place that a lot of older people and non-social media types think that it is. Social media is really a place for people to get together and share their interests, their similarities, and their passions. And the best way to approach this from a business perspective is to share your passion and your story. So take a few minutes to close your eyes, take a deep breath, and jot down what your passion is so far. If you are taking this course online with us, you can go ahead and just hit pause and write down your passion and think about what it is that you're looking to pursue. What is your mission? Just like we have a passion, we need to have a mission in order to pursue that passion. Mission is defined as a strong ambition or calling. What is your calling? You may be passionate about basketball, but maybe your calling is really to coach. So by knowing and experiencing and sharing your experiences and stories around basketball, maybe you're able to be a better coach because of it. Take a few minutes and reflect on your passion and write down what you think your mission might be. Go ahead and hit the pause button if you're still jotting down some ideas. All right, your next point is to reflect on your passion and your mission. And as it correlates back to your passion and your mission, I want you to write down 3 beliefs. What is it that you believe in when it comes to your passion and your mission? For us, when we're teaching and helping people understand how to start the business and take it from idea to company, we understand that passion plays the largest role in why entrepreneurs choose their path. Our second belief is when you're pursuing your passion, work and life can meld together because you're not working on segmenting or separating your life from the business world that that you are involved in, or segmenting your home life with your family separately and away from your business. As a single mom, I want my son to see me as a hard-working, enthusiastic person, and allowing my work and my life to meld together and help him understand, how to work around that and embrace the chaos that is work and life with a young kid, that is. That is showing him, how to pursue your passion and still enjoy life. Our third belief is that life is better when you can embrace it. So by allowing yourself to understand some of the things that we teach and working to include and embrace the chaos that might be your life, or embrace the fact that maybe you do want to keep your work life and your home life separate from one another. That's letting you understand and letting you embrace life and living a better life. And that, for me, as a single parent, and for all the other single parents watching, is really important. Enjoying life and helping your kids understand the joy and the happiness that comes from embracing the chaos and work and life is really what it's all about. So if you haven't already, take about 5 minutes to define 3 beliefs. If you have more, totally fine. Write down more than 3. I would not exceed 5 or 6, though, just as a little tidbit. Okay, if you haven't finished writing down your beliefs, go ahead and hit pause, and we're going to move on. What makes you different? Throughout any kind of marketing course or article, or someone who's trying to tell you, you got to do what makes you different, you want to make sure that you really do help people understand what makes you different. For me as a marketer, there are hundreds of thousands of other people out there teaching and preaching about social media. And what makes me different is that I really help people understand what branding and marketing and design are all about through the eyes of a non-expert. You don't need to be an expert in order to be successful within your business and have a successful marketing campaign for your business. You just need to identify a couple of brand differentiators. So, what is a differentiator? It's a unique feature or product that sets you apart from your competitors. Pretty straightforward and simple. So think about your passion, your mission, and your beliefs. We want to continue to keep all 3 of those things in mind as we continue on through this course and really understand what it is that makes you different. Look at your beliefs. Are you different because you help people understand how to embrace life and embrace the fact that there might be some chaos happening, as opposed to telling people to separate their lives? Continue taking a few minutes to define 3 ways your brand is different from others who may be like you. While you're doing that, just a quick moment to reflect on the fact that competitors are really not to be viewed as competitors. It's a very foreign subject and a touchy subject for some. You do have competitors, yes, but when you begin to form relationships with these competitors, like I do and the rest of us at the Blonde Spot do with people who are in the marketing and social media world, it allows us to say, hey, we don't have the bandwidth for this client. Would you like for us to refer them to you? Or, we really just don't have the expertise to build out this application. Can you recommend someone, or do you have someone? Understanding and taking down the walls that separate you from your competitors is really going to help you build stronger relationships with those in your community. And that is only going to make you more successful. If you haven't already finished writing down your differentiators, go ahead and pause. And when you're ready to move on, move on. Define your brand. So, taking a look at our passion, our mission, our beliefs, our differentiators, we want to begin to define who we are as a brand in the most simple format possible. Your brand is your promise you've made to your clients. Your brand is destiny. This defines the promise that you've made and the promise that you intend to keep. So take 5 minutes to let your passion, mission, beliefs, and differentiators sink in and try to pull it all together in one sentence. For those of us who are like me and a little bit of an overthinker, it's going to be a little bit challenging for us to understand how we want to pull together our thoughts. So my suggestion is to word vomit everything on your brain, in your mind, in your heart, onto your desktop, your tablet, your piece of paper, your notepad, your canvas, whatever it is that you're using to write with. Just get rid of all of it. So now that you've finished writing down a couple sentences or pages or a sentence about who your brand is, what does your brand's image look like? This is more true to the to the concept of branding. What's the status of your website? Does it provide clear and consistent messaging, values, and products and services? Is there a clear call to action? What are you trying to get your customers and your clients to do when they land on your website? Do you want them to contact you? Do you want them to sign up for a course? Do you want them to read blogs? Whatever it is that your goal is for getting people to land on your website, make it front and center. Is your website mission oriented? Would it be easier for your customers to land on your website and know what you stand for? Keep this in mind as you start to build out your pages and understand a little bit about design within your brand concepts that you've written down today. Is your website easy to look at? A website should really be balanced, simple, and definitive of your brand. Aesthetically pleasing is the all-encompassing term here. Making sure that you provide a very soothing or a very specific kind of aesthetic to your website that also communicates what your mission is and what your calls to actions are and your values are, is really going to help people understand and feel like they can look at your website and understand what the point is, what they're trying to do. Some last minute notes. Now that your brand is on its way to being developed, and you have a little bit of a head start on the process of creating a brand, start thinking about how you will market your brand, which is also called brand marketing. Use emotion as a tool. Look back to your passion and speak from it. Stick to your values. If it's questionable, maybe don't do it. And lastly, fulfill the promises you make to your clients. If you know you won't be able to, resort to honesty. There's nothing better than living by our own truths and being confident in taking the moment to say, you know, I really don't think I'm going to be able to help you with this, but here are some resources and alternatives that you can use to continue on with your journey. All right, that's it for us. Thank you for joining me today on our Branding Basics course. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook as Blondspot Sarah, spelled out as it is on the screen. And if you have any questions, feel free to go to www.theblondspot.me and hit our contact page, and you can send us a message with any comments, feedback, or questions that you might have. Thanks for joining me again today, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your afternoon or morning or evening.